Another important announcement to make is a test shall be conducted by the coordinator at the end of the program, and the certificates shall be issued to the registered participants only, and also those who have a minimum 80% attendance and scored a minimum of 60% marks in the test. Moving on to a second technical session, it will be handled by Dr. D. SREEKANTH, Senior Knowledge Officer, ICT Academy, Kerala. May I invite Ms. Shireen Bibi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, MAS College, Marampalli, to introduce the resource person. Please, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Selva. Respected resource person, dear colleagues and participants, the second session of the ATAL-FDP program is on instructional design models. I feel honored to have given the opportunity to address the resource person, Dr. SREEKANTH T, SET Academy of Kerala. Dr. SREEKANTH T has been working as a Senior Knowledge Officer at ICT Academy of Kerala since 2014. He was with the Kerala Institute of Local Administration, KILA, as an IT specialist, and his area of interest include cloud computing, data science, and machine learning. He has various international and national publications in reputed journals and referred books related to the area of cryptography, cloud computing, and machine learning. He is a member of the Pool of Examiners at IGNOU and also a member of Board of Studies of Mar Ivanius College, Trivandrum, and Christ College, Thrissur. He has conducted numerous student and faculty development programs in the state and also acted as a resource person for various corporate training in the technology domains such as data science and system design. He is also the winner of the Government of Kerala State Government E-Governance Award 2016-17. On behalf of the ATAL-FDP program and the participants present, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. SREEKANTH as we begin our session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Neva. Thank you all. I just wanted to check whether I'm audible or not. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Right.
You're audible,
Anyone?
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Audible.
So I think I have the privilege actually to share the screen. So thanks. Yeah. Okay, so welcome back. So again, to continue with the discussions, what we had again with what that has been continued by Reggie. So we'll be continuing with the discussions on especially the part is Agile kind of Agile-ADDIE kind of work culture, right? So again. To deal with this, especially to have an introduction about the Agile-ADDIE kind of workspace, it is well clear that ADDIE is an instructional framework. I would strongly hope that so we had a kind of discussions, especially on based on the new pandemic, right? So we were discussing about the relevance of it and how we can get in touch with how we can develop a particular module considering the empathy of our people. Let me say that it is our participants, right? So that was actually one of the major troubles which we are facing now. because again, it is bombarded with information, because every learning management system and everywhere we could see that we are dumping a lot, right? A lot of data we used to dump into the digital space, and probably people are much worried. Our students are much worried about this much of information, this huge amount of information. And so, what we are at this point in time, what we wanted to suggest now is it is just related to the framework, what the ADDIE framework, right? So, so what we have see incorporated along with this ADDIE is agile kind of rapid development, right? Rapid content development we have adopted using this method. So this is the way, that is the case which we wanted to discuss, especially based on this as part of this session. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, again, so while we are thinking about the Agile, the ADDIE framework, so we know that it is all about, we know that it is all about design strategies. What is all about ADDIE framework, if you are asking, right? We know that it is designed, it is required for the instructional design. So instructional design is one of the major troubles, or one of the major part that needs to be addressed at this point in time. And so another case is the first part is all about, we'll have to start with, the analysis part. What is actually all about the analysis? Probably we can get into that. So this is the analysis part. Then we'll have to move to the design part of the system, right? So how to design the contents. In our perspective, it is all about designing a content, right? So how to design a content. Then we'll have to develop that, right? So that is also again the requirement. So yeah, you know that designing is all about. Yeah, so designing is all about, after designing, probably we'll be able to move to the development phase, right? So we have to get into the development environment. So then implementation comes up into the picture. Why do how we can do the implementation, right? So what is the what are the technology platforms? Because in the early stages we were not much more worried, even though it is actually, if it is a classroom delivery, right? We were not that much worried about the implementation part at that point in time. But now we know that it is all about, we have to be worried about the implementation part, because it is in the digital space. We'll have to host everything in the digital space. You know that digital space in the sense, right? Say, how far we are able to adopt a particular platform for the implementation of the same is again one of the major requirements which we are having, right? So yeah, at this point in time, so after implementation, after content delivery, probably we may have to plan to have the evaluation, right? So the progress of every content, right? What we have delivered so far, that needs to be evaluated with a particular maybe as per the standards. What are the standards? If we are working under university departments, if you comes under a particular university, there is a standard for evaluation. So how far we are able to incorporate kind of changes, especially as part of this framework, right? So as part of this scenario that has been adopted for the content development, we may have to plan all this part of instructional design, which that needs to be comes under a particular rammer or a particular umbrella. So probably how far we are able to bring all these things together to a particular umbrella, then probably we could say that instructional design as part of ADDIE framework is on track. So this is the basic scenario that needs to be followed while we are interacting, while we are developing something on behalf of with the help of our instructional design framework, which is again called as ADDIE. So what we are coming to say you now is you know that whenever if you are developing and developing something, right, a particular approach that needs to be followed. Right. So yeah, in the earlier stages, if traditionally if we are sitting, right, we might have created our lesson plans, right? We might have executed everything related content delivery and everything mapped with that particular lesson plan. Then we might have assured a standard evaluation procedures as part of that. So kind of a structure was there, especially so kind of a procedure that needs to be followed in every content development environment. So you might have, yeah, one of the kind of a model which is actually adopted by the industry plus academia for a long time, right? So for the maybe for decades, we could say that it is all about a spiral kind of a development model. Right. Once you complete one of the activities, and probably we can complete all the requirements in a spiral way. Probably at the outset, we will get an outcome saying that this is the end product. As part as of now, if we think on the instructional design part, so what we could say that the end product may be probably the outcome of our course. Right. So outcome in the sense we could say that the outcome is the achievement, whether how far you are able to achieve the goal that has been planned as part of your objective, right? So there will be an objective for the course, right? So we may have to meet the outcome, right? So both are there. That is all about, you know, that is comes up with this part, right? Yeah, so so this is all about, you know, different models, right? So what we are suggesting now it is because Reggie was mentioning about that, you know, because of the pandemic, right? We had around some 100 plus students were waiting, or 100 plus students were there in the current, right, in the learning platforms, not in the learning platform, they were attending the regular sessions, right? They were attending the regular sessions, but suddenly when the pandemic rise, right, so we had to switch over everything, all our content into the digital environment. That was one of the major troubles which we had faced during that time. You know, a systematic, a rapid, actually, development had to be adopted during that time. Even considering all the elements what we have discussed as part of our PERL, right? Instructional design in a systematic manner with a spontaneous result was the requirement which we had at that time. So in the agile kind of agile is actually a development strategy that is widely accepted by the people, right? Again, by the industry for the product development. We have just adopted that strategy into the content development of especially for the instruction based on the instructional design. So what is all about agile kind of a development is, one of the major advantage of agile development is, we know that it is all about, you know, the dynamic planning is possible. What is all about dynamic planning? Dynamic in the sense, right? So whenever if we are dealing, whenever if we are discussing about the strategies, like, you know, if you wanted to bring a particular change, right? If you wanted to bring a change, right? So we could see that that change management, we can easily adopt that particular change into the development process. Let us assume that we have just released the content, right? Maybe on a particular topic. It can be introduction to data science, right? If you have released a particular content on a particular topic, introduction to data science, after getting a particular feedback from the pupil, from the participants, or at the first review itself, if you wanted to bring some certain changes, kind of a change, right, that needs to be adopted as part of our maybe as part of our requirement. Right. So for the better delivery of the session, to convey the particular message in a vibrant manner, we may have to adopt changes, right? So the rapid requirements, the changes that needs to be incorporated sometimes. So this is all about the requirement that we had to plan as part of this maybe kind of this kind of requirements, right? So what we are coming to say here is, let us assume that even though if you are planning to have an ADDIE kind of a framework, so ADDIE framework is all about instructional design, and there is a particular structure for that. Analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation strategies are there. So here is actually, we do have a facility called as Agile development, so which will support the ADDIE framework. Right. So what is the advantage here is, let us assume that if you have, as part of your curriculum, you have 100 topics to get covered, right? That will be converted into subtopics, right? So in the sense, we will adopt a maybe topics. Maybe we will select a subset of that particular topics, right? It is actually wrong, not subtopics, but subset of that particular topics, right? So subset of the whole topics will be taken. That is actually a subset. Maybe 100 topics will be there. For this week, we will be planning to develop only 2 to 3 topics or 5 topics, right? So that will be planned in this 1 to 2 week period. Depends upon the depth of the content, right? It depends upon the topic what we have adopted, because with the help of what is the kind of topic that needs to be developed based on based on this scenario, we will adopt the subtopics. So, and we will plan for the development of maybe maximum of 1 to 2 weeks. So again, there will be a daily scrum, which is actually called as a daily review of every content development will be addressed. And finally, probably at the end of that particular week, or maybe 2 weeks later, probably we will get an e-learning content. It can be your first module sometimes. It may be sometimes your first module. So this is the kind of development strategy that had to be applied, right? Even we are not going to address all the topic in a particular in straight away. Probably we are not going to address every topic, but we had to assure the incremental content development based on the agile development plan. So what happened, especially as part of this adoption, was, see, this is actually, if you are thinking about the Agile-ADDIE, if we have identified that there are n number of topics, what happened is this 1 to 2 week sprint was assigned with all our analysis, development, we see analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation plan. Right. So what is all about this? This is actually in a 1 to 2 weeks time itself, we had to plan around this much of transactions, right? So this much of activities that we had to plan. So this was had happened. This was happened especially if you are adopting a particular model for the development. This can be productively explored as part of our instructional design. So this is the introductory case that that needs to be addressed. So if it is Agile-ADDIE content development, what happens is, say, it has the topics with the whole syllabus, a whole curriculum will be there, and we'll identify the topic 1 to n, right? Selected topics for the week will be planned. Is maybe 1 to 2 topics will be planned. Then we will move that into the Scrum. Right. So in that case, it is actually embedded with the requirement of analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. So this is the plan that has been adopted, and probably this was actually one of the best methods which we have adopted for the development of the contents. Especially we had to switch over everybody who are up there in this group might have faced a kind of a switchover process, maybe hell a lot of problems during that time, because it was actually a hectic task which we had to we were forced to move to the digital platform. So kind of a requirement was there, right? So what we have selected, we have just moved or adopted kind of a structure for the development. And so how to deploy the agile model? This is again one of the major requirements that needs to be discussed, right? So how to deploy this? How to deploy this agile kind of a model is again a basic requirement what we have to discuss, right? Say an efficient project management tool will be helpful for us at this point in time, like Trello kind of a project management tools, right? And I can also I can also just conduct a demo for that. I can just also introduce that particular platform, whether how we are going to introduce, how we are going to track the development and everything, or how can we plan a systematic development of the product, right? Product in the sense maybe the learning e-content, right? So how far we are able to incorporate that can be right. So that can be that can be assured with the help of kind of tools, right? So for a second, I'm just going for a demo. By meantime, I request everybody to share some of the views on project management tools. Any other tools which you wanted to make a comment, right? Please open the chat box and please share your views on the model, right? Let me see. So can you suggest any of the project management tools which you have actually maybe used or productively used for any of the product development strategies, right? So you can use the chat box, please. See, for the very first time, we can have a mail connected login, or we can directly move to the Trello kind of a board, right? So these all are various boards which we are using for various products, various development strategies. So how to create a board is, what I have done is actually you can get into the Trello.com, and what you can do is you can identify. Yeah. So MS project, Microsoft project is actually a good platform that is really useful. So Trello.com, you can just get into the Trello.com and probably say we can once you logged in, you can see that here is a create board facility will be here. In the create board facility, we can say it is I'm mentioning ATAL-FDP. If you wanted to select a theme or something, color or anything, right? So we can do that, right? So ATAL-FDP, and just again, it is a free trial, right? So this is ICTAK, right? Project assistance. We can say that, once it is done, right? One second. Yeah, as under ICTAK project assistance, we have created one thing which is actually called as, this not here. We are creating a board here. Oh my God. I think I have already used something, right? I'm just using some of the existing boards, right? Whether I'll be explaining whether how to add this and all together, right? I'm just going to add a list over here, right? So this is the board category, right? It is we can fix the everything, right? Say this is I'm just going to add a list title here. As of now, it is analysis, right? Analyze. This is your analyze phase. Yeah, this is an available model, an available board, what we have. Now we have just, right, this is again, you can see that this is all about the kind of a structure. We have maintained a kind of a structure over here, right? So you can see that here it is done kind of a strategies, or we could say that this is analyze phase. You can see the next part is all about, see if it is the analyze phase, analyze. This is the design phase, right? Then development phase, implementation, or implement. Then the last one is all about, evaluation. If these all are the categories what we have or what we are planning, right? Let us assume that all the topics which we wanted to analyze, you can list all the topics here. It is again a collaborative development. What we can assure as part of this is, say, you can create, right? We can say assign people, right? If it is actually a collaborative development of the maybe content development, if you wanted to assure, we can create a particular we can see assure kind of collaborative development by incorporating different people into a particular into the category. Right, what we wanted to do is, let us assume that if this is actually one of the platforms, right? If you have created, if you are moving after analysis phase has been completed for a particular topic, create, say, if you wanted to move that, right, move this into, you can click the move here, and what you can do is you can move this into the design phase. Right, so that means analysis of that particular create and manage categories is over, and it is moved to the design phase. And if you wanted to click on the create course, a create course, right, activity, if you wanted to move that into the design next phase, right, just do it like this. You can click every activity link, and we can add members by adding you probably after making the search and all, right? So this is one of the best methods, right, to assure that can be used for right, to assure the systematic development of the whole contents, right? So this is all about content development plan, analyze, design, development, implement, and evaluation. These all are we can see collaboratively we can assure the development process, and probably we can assure the development strategy, maybe the development progress with the help of kind of project management tools. So this is kind of right. So wanted to hear from you. Can hold for a minute. Right. Wanted to hear from you whether have you used any of kind of the tools probably for the development. So I would strongly hope that I have conveyed the message. Probably just wanted to hear from you whether is it clear or not? What we have discussed now, is it clear or not? No, that is the short term, right? Ma'am, it is the short name of the person who is using. This is MP, is actually, Madhuri P. This is Mardana Rachel. So that is the short name of that particular people. Right, we can see the labels and everything we can edit, edit labels if you wanted to, based on the intensity of the work, right? So, so we can add the labels if you wanted to color like that, right? So that is also possible, right? Yeah, this is these people were involved in that particular case, right? So development, once it is developed, probably we can move to the next strategy kind of thing, right? Is that clear, ma'am?
So kindly show the Trello slide again.
Yeah, please. Every topic, every activity, right, listed here is called as a card, right? This is role assignment is a requirement. This is a card. If you are just if you are developing a particular say, if you say for a topic, introduction to data science, that can be treated as a card, right? If you are assigning some people for the analysis of that particular stream, right? So we can assign them, right? We can ask them once the analysis is completed. Probably we can ask them to move the item into the design phase. Or if it is assigned, if everything is actually as a responsibility of two-member team, probably what you can do is we can say at the outset what is we needed is at the outset, based on the timeline, right? Based on the timeline, what we can assure is right. Whatever may be the cards which we have created here. Say whatever may be the list what we have here. So whether once we have completed this and it is reached up to the level of evaluation in the sense, right? So the method that has been adopted for the evaluation. Once we have developed the evaluation plan, the strategy for the evaluation. Once we have moved everything into the evaluation, we can make it sure that based on the timelines, right? So we are on track. Right. So this is the way, one of the best ways to manage the activities, right? So this is actually the Trello. This is Moodle customization. This is called as a this is called as a board, and probably everything which comes under a particular list, which is called as a card, right? We can use these different cards based on our requirement. Is that clear? Yeah. Where it is not a part of actually. Let us assume that we are going for a development of a content on a collaboration mode. Say, for example, Ashwati is here, myself, I am here, Riji is here. We are just planning to develop a machine learning course, right? So let us assume that Reggie is going to complete the analysis phase, right? So he's the person who is responsible to conduct the analysis. What is the analysis? We will discuss about the analysis phase in detail. So he'll be the right person to discuss what is all about the analysis phase. What about the next requirement? Maybe I might have assigned with the responsibility of designing, right? Based on the analysis what Reggie made, right? I will have to design that particular content as part of our based on our requirement. We are not going to develop a product. We are going to develop the contents, right? Based on the instructional design, we are going for the development. So our requirement is I may have to go for a design. So you will get the details of all the requirements of how to go for a design and all. Probably we are going to discuss the same in the upcoming slides. So design at the outset, what is actually probably that what can be the outcome of the particular design that needs to be achieved if once it is assigned to me, right? That needs to be achieved by me once it is once that particular work is complete. Does it clear? Is that make sense? It is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I think right. So yeah, we can continue with the discussions. I'm just moving with the presentation session, right? So this is how to deploy the agile working model. See, we know that we are really good at actually instructional design model, but our current requirement is all about how to assure the systematic development of that particular system. So in that case, you can use a Trello kind of a tool to assure the systematic development, right? So yeah, in this case, with this we are right. You just keep this on mind, and probably we can discuss it later in case of any doubts or clarifications required. So by meantime, so this is all about ADDIE framework. Right? What happens now? It is actually analysis, analyze it, design it, right? Then development. Yeah, we may have to implement it. Yeah, again it is evaluation. Again it is like a loop, right? It is actually continuously which happens, right? Even whatever maybe once evaluation is actually the center part, right? Whatever may be the contents, right? Whatever may be the contents which we are developing, once it is analysis is over, we may have to go for the evaluation, right? Based on what is actually the requirement objectives, right? So whether this training makes sense, what do we need to have this kind of trainings, right? So all those points needs to be addressed at this point, right? So this is the kind of the requirement what we have, especially with the current phase. So if we are thinking about the analysis phase, we could say that this is the various methods that needs to be addressed by us to assure the systematic development, right? So we are just going to explore what is all about analyze phase, right? So what is the requirement of the training? Probably we could say that it is all about training need analysis, right? Training need analysis. What is the requirement of the training, right? Why are we doing it, right? Do we have the proficiency actually to do that? Why do we wanted to do that, right? What is the knowledge gap, right? Are we really good? Or what is the kind of systematic, right? Maybe learnings, right? That needs to be adopted for the further developments that needs to be discussed. Will it be really helpful, right? So that means at the outset we wanted to make a comment, right? So this is it really helpful, right, to the people or not? Right. So in the analysis phase itself, right, this can be an auditing phase of right instructional design. Right. So yeah, we're in the auditing phase, that in the every cases we used to ask the questions like who, what, when, where, why, and how. right? So normally what we can say that, if you are clear on these questions, right? If you are clear on this kind of questions, probably we can move to the next phase of analysis again, right? Whether how to deploy this, who will be doing that, what kind of a course it should be, when we need to deliver that, where should be, why we wanted to do that, right? Or how it can be, whether is it through the digital platforms or something else, right? So the kind of strategies, right, needs to be updated. So topic analysis, right? So what is the depth, right? What is the, whether are we maintaining a same level of pace, especially whether are we maintaining the intermediary level or a medium kind of development or advanced courses, right? So based on the requirement, we may have to analyze that, perform the topic analysis here. Then map the contents, right? So of course, mapping the contents, right? Especially, again, it is a blueprint, probably blueprint in the sense, probably we are just going to create something on top of everything. We are just going to make a, maybe we could say that it is a short note, right? What is all about data science? What is the introductory part? What is all those details, if you can, right? So that needs to be addressed. Once we have identified a topic, right, we may have to do this, then practice a plan or practices or cases, right? So what can be, right, if you are planning for a case, if you are planning for an assignment as part of this, if you are initiating, if you wanted to practice, if you wanted to, right, to say if it is a programming, if you are you insisting some programming languages or programming backgrounds, especially based on this, yeah, we can do that. So this is one of the other cases. Need to come out with the results of training need analysis and plan. What is the outcome, our expected outcome of this phases? We have to be clear on what is the what is actually all about the results of training need analysis, right? Once we are clear on the topics, agenda, and all those details, if you can have a rough idea about that, probably we can start with the mapping the cases, plan and practice, right, case discussions, where to incorporate all those details, probably we can discuss. But by meantime, what I'm coming to see here is map the contents, right? Let's take an example, so have you ever heard about mind maps, right? Mind maps really useful in this context. Probably what we are coming to see here is, right, to say if you wanted to plan practice or cases here, mind map is an interesting tool, right? Have you heard about that, or mind map? Yeah, good, thank you. Great, thank you. Thank you all. So here, Dr. Manoj Kumar sir, is spiral model applicable for the content development? Yeah, of course, if you can assure a good amount of time, probably you can use that. Is risk analysis applicable to the content development? Exactly, yes, it is there, because it is applicable, because, you know, it is again depends upon the topic what we are selecting, right? So whether it is to what level we need to assure the development, right? So that makes sense, right? So it is there. How to design the test cases and test management for content development, right? Yeah, that is quite very interesting, right? How to design the test cases and the test management, right? So again, test cases and test management, in the sense we may have to go for we may have to go for maybe a pilot run, right? Maybe a release of our beta version with maybe a good review on that makes sense, right? So design the test cases in the sense of the again, one of the best methods for that is actually all about, the adoption based on the feedback, right? The further developments based on the feedbacks we receive. I would strongly hope that we can do that in that manner, right? Is that clear, Manoj? That is my view, right? Again, we can discuss more on that. Yeah, right. So, yeah, again, do we need to demo a mind map tool, right? Whether do you need that? Or what do you think? Whether if you are really comfortable, probably we can move to the next topic, right? Do we need to explore a mind map tool?
It's a good idea, sir.
Yeah. Great. So in that case, I'm just moving to mind map tool. Sorry. Yeah, Xmind, different mind map tools are available. One second. Xmind, Gitmind, kind of different tools are available. Again, Gitmind, it is again, so far it is free. Probably I can demonstrate that. So this is the login page of our Gitmind, right? So you can just click on directly on, click on, say, new mind map creation. What you can do is you just click on the new mind map here. This is the main theme here, right? This is again a mind map we used to design, discuss this as, mind map is an activity. Probably used to say that mind map is a not making and not taking activities, right? So if you wanted to sign up, right, you just sign up. It won't be much harmful, right? So okay, you just sign up as required. So this is the main theme of the case, right? So let us assume that if you wanted to discuss about the maybe some, let us assume that if you are going to discuss about design of a particular, maybe a new course, right? I can discuss something on right. So a new course which is actually maybe say data science. Data science is my requirement. Data science is the major requirement what we have at this point in time, right? So the topic analysis is assigned with you. How are you going to map the topics, right? So map the contents, right? It can be, right, based on your research, right? So you have identified that introduction to data science is required, right? Then, what this is the main theme, data science. Sorry, this is the main theme, which is called as data science. What I'm doing here is just click on that, just a tab button. It will create a new child. Introduction to data science, or maybe data science, right? Then, yeah, what can be the next topic? Once we have completed the introduction, let us discuss about the importance of data science. Why do we want to have data science? That can be the next topic, right? In the introduction, what are the topics which we wanted to discuss? Just click on that particular item and just again click, it will create another topic or branch, right? So introduction to data science, we can say, probably we can say that the definition can be included, right? So yeah, current requirements and all can be discussed, right? So yeah, maybe, yeah, sorry. So the current requirements can be planned, right? So again, definitely introduction to data science, then the current field, right? About the current field. If you wanted to discuss. So importance of data science, because it is what are the things which you wanted to discuss as part of you importance of data science. So it can be something like this if it is importance of data science because huge right, we could say that it is because of the high volume of data. Right. Then what is the data volume, right? Definition for the volume, right? So definition for the volume, right? So it can be from your bytes to, it can be a journey from bytes to maybe at this point in time, and not exabytes of data, bytes to exabytes of data. If that journey we need to discuss, right? Then another case comes out here, it is data, or it can be the data life cycle, data science life cycle. This is actually a not making, right? What is not taking and not making activity. I strongly hope that this tool is really relevant for us, right? This can be used for whenever if we are attending a meeting, also we can collect the notes or plans or discussions in this manner. Right? If it is a life cycle, probably what you can, right, it is not needed to upgrade and all. You can export this, right? You can export this as a JPEG, PNG, PDF, or right. Another case is if you wanted to export this as a text, right? So it is actually right. So this is it will be available like this. You know, this is sufficient for us to map the syllabus initially. Right. So on a mind map, on a pictorial way, we can design this and map the contents accordingly. Right. You can export this as an image too. So this is the map contents as part of the analysis phase. Training need and analysis and its plan needs to be incorporated. This can be the outcome. This can be the requirement, right? Probably after, say, once we have completed this, means we could say that if we can incorporate this with a particular plan, nothing like it, this can be connected. Right. So this is an interesting tool. Probably it is not only for mapping the contents at the for the instructional design. Whenever required, right? Probably we can productively explore the same. So this is our perspective on this. Any comments from your side, please?
So can you please suggest a tool for TNA also?
Training need analysis, right? Yeah. In that case, probably training need analysis is again what you can do is how will you identify that there is a need of training? One of the bases is actually probably you can collect it is through the feedbacks, right? We can create a questionnaire and probably let us assume that you are running an organization. Right. So based on the requirement, what you can do that say once a project is there, right? Then you can identify that. Then you can realize that, right? So one new project is there. It is Internet of Things related, IoT related product development. In that case, what you can do is we can circulate a feedback form among our employees, right, and collect their feedback on their proficiency on that particular topic. Once you have identified that, so that is actually that can be an insight for us, right? So again, survey tools can be used, right? Another example is say for example, if you are collecting the data. If you're collecting, if you let us assume that you are blind and probably you are planning to do a particular training, then you are much worried about the topic selection. In that case, what you can do is you can go for, you can analyze the literature, available literature in the market. Right. What you can do is you can research for the available. You can go through the available literatures, maybe through websites and all. Right. Or forums, various forums or discussion, maybe feedback views and all, right? So what you can do is a word cloud itself is sufficient for that, right? Word cloud, right? Probably, right, to say, if you are, let us take an example here, right? I'm just going to create maybe tech buzzwords. I'm just typing something, 2021. So these are the 17 tech buzzwords, right? Need to know. Again, it is all about somebody is saying about machine learning, personalization, voice recognition, etc., etc. Right. So if you have, right, let us assume that I'm just going to yeah, copy this, right? I'm just going to create a word cloud. I'm just going to create a word cloud here, right? So what I'm going to do is say, let me close it. I'm just going to copy this as such, right? That is can be. I'm not sure about the strength, the maximum capacity of, or any word limit is there or not, right? So yeah, this is here. I'm just going to paste my this thing, right? Another kind of thing, another sorry, another set of people are saying data pine Forbes saying, right? Let us take that. Forbes tech bus words here. Yeah, I'm selecting something here. Okay. I'm trying to copying the same, and I'm just going to generate a cloud here. Right, we can, right, so it is well clear, right? So it is, there is no doubt here, right? So it is all about, apart from it is not visible now, let us, let me see, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to log in, but let us see this. What is it? It is you can remove the general terms, company, all those details. But even though now you can see that this is the requirement, right? Data is the requirement. It is well clear, right? Everybody is talking all. If you are analyzing, if you are going to analyze something in the internet, probably we could say that it is a kind of a review of literature kind of setup. If you are going for an analysis through the different maybe literatures available, probably we can make an assumption at the outset based on this kind of tools. We can make an assumption based on the requirement. Does that make sense? Is that clear? So at the outset, if you are asking about the training need analysis, we can run something, we can run something called as, your surveys will be helpful, right? Again, based on the requirement. If it is for your organization, that needs to be circulated among your people, right? So otherwise, a common general survey is possible, right? So yeah, even if it is a survey is happening in parallel, probably kind of a literature collection, right, will make sense, right? Because everything is in the net, and probably, yeah, we can easily identify what is the best word and where we need to explore more. Does it make sense? Is that clear, ma'am? Somebody asked, right?
Yes, sir. It was very useful. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, great. I'm just moving to the next topic now, right? So it is again, so my map is really, again, it is helpful for us. Now, so my not making and not taking activity is my map. So what is all about? We are moving to the after analysis. We are just moving to the design phase. What to do with the design? Prepare blueprint of the session. What do you mean by session? Session is maybe I'm handling a session now. We have a blueprint of the same, right? What is all about, right? So every topic-wise details, right? Session in the sense, if you are going for a 1 hour session, what are the topics that needs to be covered, right? So what can be your plan? Right, I'm not going to discuss anything out of a syllabus, right? So I'm just going to stick on, especially on my topic, right? A blueprint of the same is required. Include all the relevant details such as objectives, outcome, methodology, etc. Yeah, this is really useful. So if you wanted to click on, right, so all the relevant details such as objectives, what is your expectation? Why do we want to do that? This is actually objective. What is the outcome? Outcome in the sense, probably after completing the role, right? As in the job, have you reached the goal? Could you touch the goal? That is the case, right? So it's all about outcome. So what is that methodology that need adopted? Either it can be your methodology in the sense maybe a video lecture, either it may be a reading material, maybe an interactive video, maybe a quiz, whatever it may be the method, right? So to convey that particular topic among our students, right? So that is the case which needs to be addressed here, which is called as a really useful framework is called as quality framework. I can give you an orientation probably on discussion on what is all about quality framework. So at the outset, after completing the design part, we need to come out with an overview of the course design and prototypes, right? So an overview, the overall system design and everything that needed, that we have needed, right? So an overview of the course design and prototypes needs to be assured here. So this is the design phase, right? We'll discuss about the quality framework, right? Quality framework, if you are arranging the quality framework in a columnar format, right? So this can be the points, this can be the column headers, right? It will be course name, module number, module name, session number, right? If you have 90 sessions in a semester, right? Session number 1, 2, 3, likewise, right? Session name should be there. Session type, either it is a theory or practical or something like that. So that is the session type. Then duration in the sense, duration in the sense of what can be the duration of the particular session. Either if you can map, let us assume that in the previous stages, if you are assigned with actually to a 1 hour session, if you could complete session number 1 and 2 together, nothing like it, right? If it is a 30-minute session, probably we can club it together, right? But in the case of online platforms, right, so we may have to plan what is actually the amount that can be delivered within this short span. Either some major troubles are there, we won't get much attention of the people, right? If it is going beyond some 10 to 15 minutes, if it is a video lecture, right? What we can do, what we can plan, right? So it can be something called as, we can create an interactive video, some methods we can add on, right? So, but even though, yeah, that is the duration, the objectives, what we have discussed, what is your expectation on this topic? That is objective. Methodology, what are the methodologies that can be adopted? Materials needed, facilities needed, related exercises, right? Materials needed for the session, right? Either it can be from your chalk piece to your digital maybe board, right? So facilities needed, right? So related exercises. So are you connected with that? So are you providing probably some? This is the way. Resources in the sense, probably you may not be able to cover all the topics in a single go, right? So you might have referred a number of new topics and everything, resources, right? So that is there. So that extra reading materials can be mapped. What is all about assignments? Are you planning for an assignment? Duration of the assignment, that is also important. Outcome. So probably if a third party comes into your classroom or into your topics, right? Maybe for a review, right? We just wanted to make it sure that, or for us itself, we wanted to make it sure that this was actually the objective. I'm discussing about the design part now, right? This is the objective. Whether could we met the outcome? What is all about the outcome is, are you satisfied? Have you met the requirement, right? The expectations are met or not, right? Then we can go for the assessment. Are you planning for an assessment? Either it can be a quiz, right? Or it can be an assignment. Assignment is already discussed, right? Assessment in the sense evaluation, purely evaluation. So this is the best practices of maybe designing a quality framework. Yeah. So I am again just arranged it in the columnar format. The name of some of the important things are included here. Name of the session, say introduction to programming here. Theory, practical, duration, session objectives, to give the students a thorough and practical introduction to programming is session objectives. Methodology, live session, live interaction with the students, if it is a live session. Teaching materials needed, PPTs needed, presentations needed, videos, smartboard, etc. Facilities needed at the venue, individual computers with internet connection. Related practical exercises, are we planning some practical exercises? No. Yeah, fine. Additional resources, are you, based on your references, you can add some of the additional references. What is the assignment? You will have to break down the steps of every activity into whatever will be the assignment which you wanted to submit. Duration of the assignment, session outcome, session maybe assessment in case any, right? So this is the overall flow. This is the overall flow of designing a quality framework. Right, we will be sharing you a quality framework, a sample over here, right? You'll get an access, as discussed by, right, this is the quality framework which is available, and probably you'll get an access to the same, right? So whether you'll get a template, whether how to move further, and all kind of a template will be shared by us, and once this will be available in our learning management system. Okay, so this is the way of designing this, right? So designing the quality framework part. Again, requirement is well clear, I think so. So then we are moving to the development plan part. So this is, we could say that as of now, we have completed the quality framework design. That is actually design part. We have conducted the analysis. Then we have conducted the analysis on the topic, maybe training need analysis, we could say. Now we are clear on the topic-wise agenda, right? So 10 topics, 10 sessions will be there. These are other topics which we are going to discuss as part of this course. Right now, at the outset, what you can say that right, based on this, what we have mentioned, it is the blueprint of your course, right? What is all about the blueprint of the course? This can be this can be a reference document for you. You'll get a chance actually to write a course, you'll get a snapshot of that particular saying from here, right? Total duration of the course, either it is a 90 hours course or it is 140 hours needed. So kind of a summary can be extracted from this, right? So yeah, of course. So again, so this is the overall framework, right? So that can be adopted, right? So in case of any doubts, probably we can answer that. Let me park for a minute.
Hello.
Yeah.
So now,
yes, ma'am. Yeah, please.
So as per UGC, when we are designing the content, we have to follow the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 quartile based content designing. So which framework is used by the UGC for maintaining the quality?
Okay. So I may not be the right person to answer that. Maybe our Murugan sir or somebody else from my other resource group will be able to answer that. But this is actually maybe a quality framework which is actually adopted by NSDC, right? Sir, is that clear? NSDC adopted quality framework is which I have discussed now.
So which framework is the best for content, developing the quality content, best quality content?
So I don't think that right. So yeah, quality framework related structure does not have a trouble because it is again probably NSDC has arrived probably maybe after conducting a number of discussions and workshops, it seems, right? So they were insisting because various our courses are NSDC approved. So right, they were strictly insisting to follow everything in that manner. So yeah, so Dr. Manoj Kumar sir, I may not be the right person, especially to make a comment on UGC, maybe following framework at this point in time. Sorry for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments? All right. Okay. So I think we can move to the development phase. So the development plan is all
Sorry,
about,
sorry to disturb, sir. Sir, I want to know, is there any AI-based tool for analysis and designing in other parts?
Yeah, yes, you're so for the analysis and designing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, we could not say that it is fully fledged, but even though some kind of problems are there in all the AI related tools, right? But even though probably I'll be able to share some of the tools probably which is available in the market, but even though in the they are actually get failed in the initial phase itself, probably grabbing the data and or conducting the trading analysis and all itself, they used to get failed. Probably we could say that we are not in that manner. But even though data curation kind of things are happening in parallel, content development also, some of the companies are providing facilities for the content tools and all, right? So that is also there. Again, in that case, it is as of now what is all about all the tools now. But even though it is there, some of the there, I can suggest something later. Is that what you said? I think Manoj sir asked.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Right, Manoj sir, a question maybe asked you, what is the relevance? What is your requirement of what is your kind of a requirement? What is the requirement? Why do you wanted to do that?
Yes, sir. So, sir, we have planned a seminar on implementation of NEP and its role of regional languages and online courses.
Okay.
ICT tools, something like that. How to utilize the ICT tools in NEP.
Okay. How much Google translations and you are helpful for that?
I need one session. I need one session. I need one session. It is actually it is a MHRD. It is a MHRD sponsored event.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can. Right. No issues. Right. Because again, I would strongly hope that now Google kind of a translation, particular job, especially what you said is absolutely correct. Maybe a
Yeah.
translator
Yeah.
may be useful.
Yeah.
Again,
Sure.
if it is actually of there is no doubt because their mother tongue might have an important role. There is no doubt on that, right? So for the better absorption of the contents, right? So some problems are there. We could not say that it is a 100% proof, right? Yeah, in case if there is, I'm just moving to the development case. Data aggregation is an important case. A storyboard creation is very important. You know, the content delivery plan, right? So is important. Video recording, you know, video editing, content delivery plan. The content delivery plan itself, we can see requirements are there. Right? So once we have adopted the say as of now we have a blueprint. Either it can be a blueprint of maybe session 1 to 10. This is the short course on that is there. So at this point in time, as a developer, maybe as an instructor, your requirement, our requirement is none other. We may have to create contents, right? The exact content that needs to be get delivered. This is again, it is an important, very important phase, right? So what are the things, the requirement we have, the objectives, sets of objectives we have, right? The goal, the outcome, the expected outcome of that particular thing is also here with us. Now we are planning. What we need to plan is none other than we need to plan something called as, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we will have to aggregate the data to meet the requirement in the sense to reach the outcome. We have to plan the data collection. So what is all about this is data collection, storyboard creation, right? So again, other than one of the major advantages which we had during our live classroom sessions was actually again based on the pace, based on the people's feel. Probably we may have to read their mind, and probably we will be able to deliver the contents accordingly. But at this point in time, what we are facing, one of the major troubles which we are facing at this point in time is none other than it is all about yeah, of course, it is better if you can go with the particular, right? So if it is a recorded version, if it is a recorded kind of a video session which you are planning, in that case it is always great if we can go for a maybe with a video without any gaps, right? Without any loose talks, without any gap fillers or anything, right? To assure kind of system, right? So it is always better to use the storyboards, right? If it is a live session, it is probably you can take that particular call and you can design what we can design, right? But this is a problem for us. We may have to be clear, especially on what is actually we are going to deliver based on the blueprint, on the design strategy, what we have adopted. What we can do is we can move further. So the storyboard creation comes up here. The storyboard is all about right, again, we can use a script over here, right? So here it is actually tips for a storyboard writing is actually, right? We know that if it is introduction to data science, we know that these are the topics needs to be covered. So it is always better to select a storyboard template like this, right? So have a clear idea of your goals and objectives beforehand. So that is the requirement, right? We have to map our objectives and outcome, right? So based on that, we may have to create the story. Write the content for each of your learning e-learning objectives, right? Organize your material by creating your content sequence, right? So the sequence is also required, right? What all the things needs to be discussed. Decide upon the multimedia elements, right? What all the tools, videos, or etc., can be used, right? Be as detailed as possible when storyboarding interactions are there. That scripting include transition between each lesson. So all those details are very relevant at this point in time. What we are suggesting is, say, if you are taking a script, right? This is actually one of the scripts which we have written based on our quality framework, right? On blended learning for blended learning. What we have planned is actually we had created a slide, right? This was actually a slide. Maybe you could say that it is, yeah, it is all about, blended learning. Slide number 1, whatever maybe the slides which we are, using, whatever maybe the slides which we are using, say the expectation was none other than, right? It is always better if you can have a script based on your storyboard, right? What is all about the storyboard here is, yeah, we'll start our script with this, right? Saying, hey, hello, right? Hey, hello, and welcome to the session on blended learning. Kind of a system, kind of a maybe command that can be created, right? So this was one of the best, actually one of the best methods actually to can be adopted at the time of our this thing, right? While recording the contents and all, right? You might have heard about this term any number of times. Here we would like to give you an ICT Academy perspective of blended learning. This is the script. This was the supporting script for the slide number 1. Once we have moved into the slide number 2, this was the supporting script we have used, right? So in simple terms, blended learning can be defined as a combination of face-to-face, something like that, right? So this is a video, right? Let me show a video here, right? So yeah, I'm showing a video now. You just remember the script what we have shown now, right? Now you can see a video here, right? So is it audible?
No, sir.
No. No, something went wrong, right? It is not audible. So probably I'll be sharing that script.
Sir,
Right?
computer sound should be shared, I think, sir.
Oh my God. What is that in the Zoom, right?
Yes, sir. Computer sound should be shared, sir.
Sir, once please stop the share and again share, press share option and the down tick box with sounds.
Is it audible now? Can you just check?
No, sir.
Is it clear, sir?
No, sir.
I need to stop share, right?
Yes, sir.
1 second.
Freshly share it and then choose a tick box like share with sound.
Oh, okay.
Hello and welcome to the session on blended learning. You might have heard about this term any number of times. Here, we would like to give you an ICT Academy perspective of blended learning. In simple terms, blended learning can be defined as a combination of face-to-face or classroom learning and e-learning. The face-to-face or classroom learning is also known as offline learning, and e-learning is popularly known as online learning. Are you wondering why we have Sachin and Dhoni in a blended learning session? Let's wait. Think about one of your normal classroom session. You can call it as a session or a period or an hour, whatever it may be. In such a session,
It was.
SREEKANTH sir, I think you are on mute.
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही, श्रीकांत सर आवाज नहीं आ रही.
So still it's in mute actually.
So you have to stop the sharing for it, and then you can probably unmute.
Yeah, no worries. Is it audible now?
Yes, sir, fine.
Sir, you are audible.
Yeah, I'll see the script. What we were discussing, right? So the scripts what we were discussing will be shared to you all. It is available here as a storyboard in the case, right? So yeah, the link, right? The link of the same. This is the script what we have developed, and the link for the same also we will make that available there, right? I am sharing this over there in our chat box. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Please watch this. Right. Something went wrong. Kindly at this point in time. So this is one of the best methods, right? So a professional creation, a professional way of creating a video, right? So that is required probably, and we could say that it is really helpful in case if we are using a kind of scripts, right? So yeah, Reggie was mentioning about the Screencast-O-Matic, Vimeo, etc. and all. Right. One of the major other troubles what we used to face is none other than, once we have uploaded a particular content, right? Maybe some policy-related matters also will be there. If it is actually a general content for sharing the information or sharing some notes on data structures or analytics, it won't make sense, right? But it won't make a problem. But in case if you have a maybe in case of any proprietary restrictions are there, we may have to protect our video content also, right? So we have explored many of the options, right? So, but even though, right, So Vimeo is actually a good option for that, but again, it is a paid server because we are uploading all the contents over there, right? So it is again an OTT kind of a platform. We that will be restricting, but the advantage is right, again, as part of our implementation phase, we will be discussing about Moodle. Again, yeah, we are here to discuss more on Moodle, right? So again, but we can integrate this Vimeo, we can embed this Vimeo video over there in our Moodle platform, right? So the advantage is, right, so we can, right, one of the common advantages are, right, we don't want to upload everything to our server, right? We can assure that it is not at all, right, downloaded anywhere, right? So likewise, we can maintain our maybe copyright issues and all, right? All those details can be done. Screen Customatic is really useful for recording all the sessions. If you wanted to play a demonstration, right, that is really useful, right? If time. I think, yeah, Anshu ma'am is accessing. We heard about something, but even though there is no need of kind of a requirement, we can embed that into it is we can embed it in our maybe video link itself, right? So we are not going to share any video link there probably after that, but what you could say that is, yeah, we can embed that particular thing maybe once our people are opening up the particular maybe topic itself. They can see what are the recordings available, all those details, right? So again, players and everything is really good. So that is really we can again probably we can embed that what to say, that player itself into our mode, which makes sense, right? There is no other troubles and all, right? So that is again one of the suggestions that can be provided at this point in time. So worried about video recording, right? So yeah, again, so this is one of the major problems we see. We used to, as a maybe if you are from a traditional background, this is actually one of the major troubles we might have faced, right? You know, right? Some tips we can what we can do is, right. It can be challenging, right? And maybe. Again, one of the other troubles was actually we were on an assumption that it will be right. We have to have some recording facilities, recording studios, or anything for our maybe our whole session recordings and all. But now yeah, you became an expert in that, maybe in that particular domain, because as of now everybody is actually using with the exploring that with our smartphone itself, right? So yeah, again, all that kind of an arrangements are needed while we are recording this, right? So some of the old right, some of the better tips for exploring this is like this, right? You know, again, this is one case that can be discussed. So before implementation, right? Yeah, again, what we need to, I will be showing something related to the Vimeo over there as part of implementation, right? The implementation part, where to implement. As of now, what is our criteria? Where we are? If you're asking about where we are, as of now, we have completed the analysis. We know that we have a better understanding on the requirement side. That is the analysis phase. What is the design phase? We have just gone for the design phase. We do have a blueprint of the whole sessions. We do have that is there. Then what is next? Next is we have the development, right? The content preparation. We have either it may be a demonstration, maybe a recording of your screen, either it can be a video recording or it can be a reading materials, right? So all those details, contents are ready, right, for a course. Now where we would need to move, we need to move into the deployment of the same. where to deploy this, either it is we need a digital platform there, right? In the morning half we were discussing about Google Classrooms, right? Moodle, etc., right? So where to implement this? Yeah, of course, one of the best solution is learning management system. Where to go for a learning management system? Identify the LMS based on the requirements, and probably we can adopt it, right? We were discussing, yeah, somebody was asking in the morning half, right? So about the platforms which are available. So we could say that learning management system wise, Moodle is one of the best platforms can be explored, right? Even Zakaria sir was also mentioning the same, right? So again, another case is, yeah, we can, right? So we do have some of the other platforms are also. Canva is also a good platform, right? Right. We know that our yeah, so some even different platforms for learning management systems are available, but it is actually there is a wide acceptance for Moodle, and edX is actually the course, maybe college related or institution related edX are available. Again, it is also really good because we do have some facilities actually to map with our maybe to create the contents, to present it, all those details, all those features are there in all kind of platforms, right? So based on your requirement, based on your feasibility, probably you can adopt or accept what are the basic, right, formats. But even though there is actually a common standard among these all platforms to share the contents in between, right? So we could say that even we had an opportunity to work with Coursera during that particular pandemic time. We were trying to integrate our this Coursera kind of a platform, right? So with Moodle, right? So again, based on the standards, if you have developed the contents based on the standards, right? So we can have that particular opportunity, right? Some open interface standards are available, right? Like ICICI, maybe AICC kind of things and all. It is there. Maybe single level authentication is also possible, right? If you can, right? So Rajiv was mentioning, we could able to implement, we could able to connect our learning management system. It is again a Moodle learning management system. We were able to connect this with the LinkedIn Learning also, right? So again, single sign-on is sufficient because people who are going to log into our system can access LinkedIn also, right? Based on their maybe user or authorization levels and all, right? So that and all, it is possible. So based on your requirement, probably you can select which is the best platform, right? Features of Moodle, right? So this is we are going for these are the parts which we are going to discuss more on as part of this FDP, right? So what is all about the features, right? As user interface is good, right? Some of our faculty members were mentioning that personalized dashboards is available, collaborative tools, right? We can have chat options, etc., forums, etc., right? So we can integrate all the events with our calendar. File management is also really good, right? Any kind of files can be managed here, right? So we do have a good text editor. That is one of the, even even if you can take the HTML view of that, if you are really proficient in the HTML, right? Probably we can right, we can create some great pages, right? So that is also the notifications, right? So reminders are everywhere. There is an alert mechanism, because even we could see that in the day morning itself, you will get some n number of alerts from WhatsApp to Telegrams to right. So one more option is Moodle, right? We can have that also there. We can, yeah, that's progress. We can assure, if you can set this with a learning path, right? So we can assure what is the progress of a student, right? Whether that is it not a blind kind of expectation, right? So we can have with the data, probably we'll be able to say that there is a significant progress for the student, right? Of course, around 167 plus 87 plus languages are supporting this our Moodle. That is also somebody was asking, right? So yeah, Manoj sir was asking about the the local languages. That is also can be done. We are happy to say that some of our students, some of our friends, some of our friends from the faculty fraternity have already created some Malayalam course, right? We are from Kerala and the Malayalam is our local language, and some of our friends have already created some Malayalam course in Moodle. So great to have, great to share that particular information. Then user roles and permission. This is one of the major hurdles what we have, right? Especially whenever we are dealing, not a teacher or a student role. But we do have some other administrative kind of roles also needs to be incorporated, right? So that is also can be done. Again, Raji was mentioning about the great forum, right? So we can have some great plugins also available, right? Again, once you are great enough after completing the FDP, probably you will be able to create, not as part of this is actually the basic level discussions which we are going to incorporate as part of this FDP. After that, probably you'll be able to, if you can explore more, probably you'll be able to design or develop some of the plugins based on our requirement, right? If it is a common requirement, Moodle will accept it as a plugin, right? So yeah, activities and resources are the core things. Probably our discussions and everything will be getting started based on activities. Only two things. If you are a beginner to the to Moodle, don't worry about much on quizzes, assignments, workshops, etc., etc. Only two things which we wanted to remember. Everything we are going to connect with to the people, right? If you are connecting, if it is actually a single directional thing, right? So we are sharing a resource. We are sharing something to our students that is called as a resource. If you are expecting a result, maybe probably a workaround, right? Especially because we are expecting a result, a summary from their side, that is called as an activity, right? So that is there. Then we can move to the evaluation phase, right? So by meantime, let me show a course, right? Whether it is working in our Moodle platform, right? So we'll demonstrate this course, maybe this platform in the afternoon, probably. But even though, yeah, this is our one of the platforms we have. Let me take one of the courses here, right? I'm just going to select. We do have different categories here, right? Ashwati, you are here, right? Ashwati, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Our cybersecurity course is here, right?
Yeah, maybe in the Norca, maybe it's there, sir. In Norca folder is there, right? Inside the courses.
Okay. So.
Yeah, the top portion, courses.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Ashwati.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
See, this is actually, you can see that it is hosted in Vimeo. This is carriers in cybersecurity. Is the course content we have mapped with the within. This is Pathashala. Don't worry about Pathashala and all. It is actually a Moodle platform. We will discuss that. If you wanted to see that, right? So all the features of our this thing, that you will get all the features. Right, so all the features in the sense, right, all the features of the IDE, right, maybe the player that will be available here. See, this is a Vimeo player, right? You can have the full screen facility, right? So you can save it as, but it will be available as a web page, right? You can't download that video. Right. Another case is again, if you wanted to, escape, right? Like if you wanted to move like this, that facility is there. If you wanted to map, right, it is there, right? If you wanted to, because maybe some bandwidth issues will be there, right? So bandwidth issues are there. In that case, if you wanted to reduce the quality of the video, that also can be done, right? Another case is right speed. If you are not really good, especially if you are not comfortable actually with the speed of the speaker, right, that also can be mapped here if you wanted to slow down, right? So again, Manoj sir, it will be useful for as an input for you, right? So different terminologies or things that can be adopted for delivering the contents into a maybe a person who is from a particular local background, right? So maybe who is actually wanted to stick on, especially on the mother tongue languages, etc., right? So this and all will be really useful, right? So so this is the Vimeo, right, platform. Again, you know that this is, don't worry about the Pathashala. It is a Moodle enabled platform, right? So we will explore all the features of Moodle, and probably then probably you will not be much worried about this, right? So the advantage is we can protect it. All the features of the Vimeo also can be right. So we can make it available here. Right. If another case is actually, if you are just right, so our people used to take this from the right, so from the Vimeo and all, right? We'll go our right. So yeah, of course. So this is the Vimeo link, right? If you are taking this link out of that, right? If you are taking this out of our video, and if you are trying to play this, right? Yeah, this is the Vimeo link, right? So separate link of that particular video, that also won't be available, because this is because of the privacy setting, this video cannot be played here. So what we have done is actually we have restricted with our domain also, right? If that particular video is accessing from this domain, then only it will be available. Kind of a setups, right? So these are again, as Reggie mentioned, these all are some of the general concepts that needs to be right. Yeah, that needs to be right. We need to make it sure on this part, right? So these are some general information that needs to be that needs to be incorporated while we are developing something, while we are into the instructional design. So again, I'm moving to the final part. Now, we'll take only 1 to 2 minutes for that to complete the whole session, right? So again, evaluation is once you have implemented. Let us assume that everything is in the digital era, right? Once you have implemented, what you can say that it is right. We could say that it is if it is a formative evaluation, it can be one-to-one, right? Probably like our old exams, right? Maybe with the help of papers, right? Right. So one-to-one exams, one to a small group. See, both these features is we can make this possible with the help of Moodle. If it is a question, essay type question also we can use. If it is quiz, one-to-one is possible. One to a small group, that is also possible, right? There is a great activity called as workshop in Moodle. that can be productively explored, especially for to meeting that kind of requirements. One to small group is also here, right? Another in case of summative assessment, if it is for the evaluations, right? Especially maybe based on the curriculum, or maybe as part of continuous evaluation, reaction, learning, behavior, results, right? Everything, right? So reaction to sense, right? So we can share a feedback to our students, right? We can take a feedback from our students, and probably we can make that particular changes in our upcoming sessions. What is about the learning? Learning is actually right. So we can assure that how they are learning, right, based on the results and all, right? Maybe either can be through our quizzes or through assignments, etc. We can assure there is actually a good amount of learning is there or not. So behavior, yeah, of course, it is a good topic. But even to write, so based on their activity logs, right, activity logs and all, we can make it sure that they are on track or not. Again, activity logs in the sense how much time they are spending in front of the system, especially in the LMS, right? Whether they have clicked or all the videos, everything, right? So behavior analysis is also possible. Results is actually, we do have a great facility called as Gradebook over here, right? So that is also can be connected to it. So these all are the advantages of having evaluate all those details. So yeah, this is the probably agile way of instructional design using ADDIE framework. Even though we have discussed more on the ADDIE instructional design, we could see that agile way of within 1 to 2 weeks time, if you can plan a particular if you can plan to complete a subset of topics within a short span, I think nothing like it, right? So this is the one of the best ways actually can be adopted for the development of the contents, right? So with this, I'm leaving our this session, and we are open to have discussions on the race. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Salva will be joining soon, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. So I think there are no more questions and queries. So let's wind up the session right now. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this amazing session. We are waiting for your second session right now. And so everyone, Sreekanth sir will be joining us for the next session. So we are adjourning this session right now, and we'll meet you all for the third session at 2 p.m. So stick to time and see you all at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.